Hi, today I'm going to show you how to make a blueberry cheesecake muffin. And it's a little bit cheesecake and a little bit muffin, and it's made in three separate sections. That's the crust, which goes at the bottom, then there's the muffin batter, and then there's the filling, which is the cheesecake filling. And I'm using blueberries today and a little bit of cherry jam, but you can use anything you like really. So I'm going to whiz through this really quickly, otherwise the video is going to be really long, and I'm trying to get them as short as possible. But if you do have any questions or queries, leave a comment in the box below and I'll get back to you. I've got a food processor. If you don't have a food processor, just put them into a Ziploc bag and bash them with a rolling pin. The next thing is to mix your crumbs with some melted butter or margarine. If there are any really big bits, such as that massive bit, just leave that out, but the rest of it's just crumbs. You may not need all of this melted butter, so don't just pour it all in. Put some in, mix it about, see if you get the right consistency. You're looking for wet sand. If you don't, just add a bit more in. That's because some biscuits are just a bit more moist than others. I'm using Fox's shortcake biscuits, but you can use anything you like. I quite like digestives for it, but similarly, oat biscuits are really lovely, and you can't get them in all countries, but hobnobs are absolutely delicious. You want it to stick together when you pat it down, so I think that just needs a teeny bit more. If you don't put enough butter in, the crust will just disintegrate. But if you put too much in, it'll just be like an oily mess. So it's quite a fine balance really. Practice is just the best way to figure it out. Right, I think mine is done. So what I have, I've lined a muffin tray, and I'm just going to put a little bit of crust in each one. I'm just going to pop these into the fridge now that they're done whilst I'm waiting. You really do want to make sure that it's quite firmly packed in here, and I have just used a little shot glass to tap it down, but you can use anything you like. Fingers will do just as well. So while you're waiting, just pop this in the fridge and we'll move on to the next stage. In here I have granulated white sugar and full fat cream cheese, and I'm going to mix them together until they're light and fluffy and then set it aside, because that's actually going to be going into our batter. So now I've moved on to making the cake batter. It's really simple. You just add your wet ingredients to your dry ingredients. So in here I have self-raising flour, baking powder, a pinch of salt and some caster sugar. And to that I'm going to add my vegetable oil. You can use any oil you like, this doesn't really have like a strong flavour, and an egg. Now I'm not going to break the egg directly into this, I'm just going to break it in here first, just to make sure if there's any shell or anything that I don't want in there. But I've done a perfect job, and so I'll just be adding that in. You don't need to be particularly neat with this, as it's all going to melt anyway. This is ready to go into the oven. I'm going to put it in at 170 degrees for about 20 minutes, then I'll check it and I'll see if it needs a little bit more time.